All right, I'm going to close this one down too. Move on over. Funded next. Okay, let's see what we get. New 10 a.m. We got the YouTube crowd shuffling in. Morning, YouTube. Hope you're well. Long time no see. Take a little bit of a long here. Expecting some more continuation, hopefully. There we go. Nice. So there might be thin structure from yesterday, but that doesn't mean there's thin structure overall, I don't think. Right? We have a lot of structure going back the last several weeks. So if we build a profile, right? We do have a little bit of a low volume node right here that we want to. Look at that. So right here, between 910 and 920, and then we have another one up here at 968-ish. Go to 37 if we break above here. But this is still the value area high of the biggest distribution right here. So we could see a temporary pullback for sure from here. Short, 99. 10 points. Flat. Hey, Ed. Welcome to the YouTube. As you can see the markers on my charts right here. Just see what it is. Everything is marked. Tells you what time frame it is, what symbol. It's right here, guys. Time frame and symbol. Right here. So this is an interesting resistance point still. I might try and take another short here as I think. Oh, there we go. Short 94. Yes, 10 points. I'll take it. 15 points. Nice little sell off there. Yeah, JJ, he's talking about extremely thin on the profile. So yesterday, right, this area from here to here, right, thin structure. as opposed to high volume. There's really no high volume nodes in the way. So yeah. So this is that's a fade value area extreme, Carlos, from this low volume node. So this is a distribution on the higher time frame, a composite. So this is a fade value area extreme short, higher time frame fade value area extreme short out of the advanced playbook. I still like it short. I think this is a higher time frame trade working out here. Oof. So we went, we've been challenging this level. We challenged it at 3 a.m. at London, rejected, and now we're testing it in New York, and we're rejecting initially as well. So we got to break above this 920, 910 to 920, which is the most significant low volume node on the volume profile right here. All right, guys, you see this? Got this low volume node right there. That's what we're stuck at. This is volume from the last several weeks, Jano. This profile goes all the way back to September 17th. I'm not really interested in trading gold right now, Daniel. We're getting way more activity on NQ. Much bigger rotations. Gold's just kind of grinding. So now we're forming a clear distribution on the profile here. We have our low volume node right here. And we'll probably trade between here and here until we break and hold to one direction or the other. So we're going to look for that or this. It is, AJ, since it goes back to the 17th. The toolkit only goes back 20 days. YouTube. The chart is listed right here, okay? The symbol, the time frame, everything's right there on every chart, okay? We'll have another initial bounce in about 12 minutes. On. All right, so if this cracks, guys, we can get a return to value. I'll take a stab. Here we go. Okay, will it reclaim or back test here? Nice. So that level cracked. Return to value, back test short. Beauty. I do like, normally I'd be a little sketch of the VWAP bounce. I wouldn't call, I don't know if we so much have a VWAP bounce here. I think there's a VWAP scalp opportunity in this zone. It's about a 14-point zone. $825. Took long at 28. Long at 29. Stop at break even. 10 points here. There we go. 16 points, guys. That was a beautiful bounce. Let's see if I get the next one. Patient. Oof, look at that. Out. Break even. Yeah, I didn't like that more than a scalp, Chuck. Not a real VWAP bounce. Didn't meet the criteria. Nice, Michael. Good work. We're catching some good trades now. Well, I could have held that one. I don't know. I got nervous. I didn't like the velocity. It's like a back test short now. A little early, but what's happening? Anybody else having issues with Tradebait? Just went wonky on me. Oh, crap. What? What? No way. This is not cool. Oof. That was weird. Well, it's been a bit of a crush fest. Not bad for a Monday. I kept hitting the order button and it kept saying connection lost. Connection lost. And it wasn't showing that I was getting any fills. So I logged out, logged back in, and I had 13 contract minis short. Luckily, it just tanked. I mean, I still liked the short after that. I wasn't thinking we were just going to recover that whole move immediately, but it was a little nerve-wracking for a minute. Yep, 13 minis. Chuck, where did you find actual footage of me? I thought that was buried. Yes, this is TradingView with a toolkit. That is correct. Big rotations. ES is revisiting the lows. Russell gave up that whole move. Dow is coming back down to lows. Everything is just saying, screw you guys. We're going down. Nice. Javier, good work. This monthly upper band has been like the money printer. Okay, now we're kind of chopping around VWAP, guys. This is and point of control, or a point of control, I should say, because we have developed a distribution up here, and we have developed one right here. This is kind of the high volume area. This was a high volume area. We traded between them. Now we can either go back up to this volume area, or we can go back down here. I'm thinking here. What do I know? Initial balance is set. Which one are we going to touch first, guys? We're like smack in the middle. You have a 50-50 shot of hitting one side or the other from here. Upper? I'm thinking lower. I could be wrong. Based on the overall market, everything else is going down. If that's any indication, all the other indexes are at their lows. And if you're not watching the other indexes, I highly recommend you do so. But we could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time I was wrong. In fact, I'm wrong all the time, actually. What makes me a good trader is not the fact that I'm right all the time. Hey, Vilsi, that's always a nice present to ourselves, right? Another screen. Christmas is coming up, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, we got some type of gift-giving holiday might be coming up sooner or later. Ask friends and family for another monitor. That's right, Leon. 100%. I'm always wrong. Never right. And I've learned to live with that. All right. We might break above this band. We might get a long opportunity here now. If we can hold this. Long at 32. Whoa, yes. That might have been the fastest 10 points I ever grabbed. I blinked. Nice, Brian. You only need the small one. Guys, mine is overkill. I don't use at least, I have a 32 button Stream Deck. I maybe use 7 of them. So we broke above, so I have this red zone marked out here, Tony. So this is more like an advanced playbook scalp, but we broke above this low volume node. We have VWAP, we have monthly upper band, right? So that was a break and back test long, kind of like a VWAP scalp advanced playbook. Break and back test out of module 5 of the course. So, and also, Tony, this monthly lower band, I keep calling it upper band. This monthly lower band has been money. It's been well respected almost this entire session. Look at this. So, you know, a break above it, everybody was watching. Broke above, back test long. This is a low volume node, Omri, off the composite profile. All right, so let's make this a little bigger. All right, so this is a composite profile that's bringing in all the price action since September 17th. And I'm aggregating all of this data into one giant volume profile. And out of this one giant composite profile, these red zones are the most significant low volume areas. These tend to act as significant support and resistance points. High conviction, higher time frame. And, you know, we shorted off of that earlier. And we got from that zone, it played off almost to the tick, to my zone here. And from there, where I started saying I like the short, we went down a generous 115 points. 463 ticks. Now, I usually would never hold on a trade that long. It's still kind of cool to watch. And I don't care that I didn't catch 115 points because that's not how I trade and it's not part of my my style. So I don't get upset about those things. But I was calling for a higher time frame short, which can usually be a pretty big mover. Now I did scalp it a lot on the way down. I didn't just take one trade here. As it showed conviction to the downside, I got in repeatedly on the way down. And then on the way up. Last week wasn't a great week for the Madonna, Jake. I was looking at last week's Madonna trades. The week prior to that was awesome. Almost every day it worked. Last week, not so much, even for scalps. It like blew right through it a bunch of times from what I saw. Now, I didn't trade live Thursday and Friday, and I think I was done by the Madonna on Wednesday. But from what I saw, it looked like it moved right through it. So prop firm match. Anybody heard of prop firm match? They want me to join their live stream October 17th as a guest on their new YouTube channel. Nice, Allie. Yeah, they just started a TV channel, I guess, for futures traders. They invited me on October 17th, so you might be watching me there on October 17th. What day is that? That's Friday. That's this Friday. Thank you, Sonny. So you're saying you guys aren't going to watch me on prop firm match? Huh. You'd rather watch Chuck? Fine. Well, that's up to Chuck. I don't care. If Chuck wants to stream, he's certainly welcome to. It's going to be on their YouTube channel. So I'll make sure everybody has the details beforehand. The YouTube, I don't even know what we're going to be doing. I'll probably find out. I don't even know if I'll be trading live or whether I would imagine. And I imagine YouTube's always like slightly delayed. I don't think there's any like super low latency YouTube streams. I might be wrong. You guys might know better. Jake, you might have been the only one who was right about us going back up to upper band first. Upper IB high. Nice, Bill. Good work. Excellent trading. I think Discord's pretty good. Discord's pretty low latency. Up, up. Now we're filling out the low volume nodes. It's like we're creating one big distribution here now. Well, that was a tank. Sellers really stepped in there. I would say this is still a fade value or extreme, Shelly. We never really escaped the value area, right? So return to value requires us to be in price discovery first. So we're returning to value after being in price discovery. We never really entered price discovery. So this is still all fade value or extremes. Oh. I would say we might still get lower here. Delta's weak. I don't see any reason for the long here after a fade value or extreme on a wide distribution. We'll see what happens at this inflection point at VWAP and monthly upper band. If we can hold there and then get some upside, then I would agree with that. But until then, we're still fading from the upper band. So if this holds, we might get more upside. Here we go. This level's got to hold. This zone has got to hold. RTV doesn't always have a back test. It's a nice confirmation tool, but doesn't always happen. All right. Seller's going to tear up this zone right here. See what happens. Woof. Woof. Hey, trader, I have a whole video on that, a whole class on that. Thank you, Chuck. I was about to paste it. But they flush everybody out and then rip it. Oh, that's messed up, man. These algos are dirty. Dirty algos. Screwing with everybody's positions. Maybe not. Okay. Down it goes. Oh, shit.
It's 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We expect comments from ECB's group.
I don't think many people use footprint charts here. They're also very difficult to use on a very thin market like NQ. I could see using them on like much thicker markets where you actually have time to analyze actual footprint levels. But to do that on Q seems like, you would probably need some type of computer to compute that data for you. There's so many price levels. I mean, today's range alone has 750 price levels. Even if you combine them to 4 ticks per point, so you aggregate it into points, it's still 188 price levels. Crazy. Who's calculating that on a footprint chart to get some accurate intraday levels? Yeah, but if it's a wick, you can assume there's an imbalance there anyway, right? That's why it wicked. I think you can spot imbalances a lot easier on a volume profile with low volume nodes and high volume nodes where there's an agreement on price. How do you know those are buyers being trapped and not shorts getting liquidated? You don't. That could have been the short squeeze, stop run. You don't know those are actual real buyers. $764. Oh man, we almost got there, David. Good call. I don't know if you grabbed that. And real buyers stepping in on the delta. Long, 89. Lots of buyers stepping in here. Let's go. Come on, push it. Buyers are getting stuffed. Come on now. Dang. See if we can get some continuation here. Otherwise, that was just, that could have been a short cover.
At 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we expect to commence from VCB swoosh.
Let's see what we get down here. So we do have a kind of a lot lined up right over here. We have an LVN, we have value area low. But sellers are angry, man. So far it's holding. Let's see if it can continue to hold. Weird delta today, guys. This is one of the weirdest deltas we've had in a while, isn't it? I have a previous session LVN. We have another composite low volume node right below it. We have the initial balance low. It's a pretty wide zone, but doesn't always line up perfectly, does it? Just chewing through it.
Trump says Iran will come along. He says Iran needs help. Would love to take off Iran's sanctions if they talk.
Yeah, tech is strong. But a lot of that movement, Ali, was from the Globex. I mean, we're pretty much close to the regular trading hours low here. Much of the up movement happened already. A lot of it happened just from the gap up.
Trump says if the US didn't hit Iran with nuclear, we couldn't get this. That's Trump referring to the Gaza deal.
All right, 11 o'clock. Let's do a trader check-in. How's everybody doing today? Following the plan? Planning the trade? Small red's okay. We can deal with small red.
Trump says phase 2 talks on Gaza have started.
Hey, Ramiro. Okay, well, we're bouncing off that LVN, that previous session LVN so far. How much strength are we going to get here is left to be determined, I think. All right. Yeah, it's crazy how they pushed it down lower first before, we had a lot of buyers down here at 1053, 10 minutes ago. Weird CVD action here, guys. There's a lot happening. It's really hard to get a read. I'm telling you right now. Very difficult to get a read on today's price action with the delta. I'll be right back. So everybody did decent. Red in one, small green in another. Yeah, it's been a tough day. Tough day, guys. Up $500. Nice, Josh. Shelly, 374 times 3. Good day. Ethereum correct submissions. Absolutely. It's a process. Taking us a few scalps on MES. Small green 70. Yeah, small distance scalps worked well. Nice, Tamara.
US envoy witness.
That's all right, JP. I mean, it's been a tough day. Little red today, Joshua. Yep. I would say today is more of a difficult day. JJ is just Killing it. What did you do today, JJ, that allowed you to do so well? Lots of base hits for me. I took some big losers too. Look, my total profit, my total winning trades were over 10K. I had some big losers in there. But as my profit grew, I'm willing to take more risk. Still seems we're holding here, doesn't it? Nice. So in at 59, maybe I'll hold this one to 70. 10 point scalp. Right to my order. Getting a little tired of that happening. All right, filled me that time. So Mushi, that's it's a more complex question. Let's use today as an example, right? So while we did spend this time here, right? This was a little bit of price discovery. However, in the bigger picture, on this chart, does this here look like price discovery? We got something like this going on in the entire session. I'd be very cautious about calling this price discovery. Right? We want to see something like this on the profile. Price leaving a distribution and heading to another distribution. That is price discovery. This is a balanced market. It's a wide one, but on the higher time frame, I'd be very cautious about price discovery for this reason. You guys see that? Anybody see that? So sometimes we have to zoom out, right? It's not just the intraday chart. We are day traders, right? But we need some type of agreement, right? So on my 1 minute chart, yes, this looks like price discovery. However, the higher time frame always rules. And the higher time frame is telling me balanced market conditions. Value area high, value area low, excess price, excess price, excess price. Not price discovery. The setups weren't very clean today. We had a couple of good clean setups, but this is balanced markets with a lot of excess price like that can be very difficult to trade. All right, looks like buyers stepping back in again, working the bid a little bit right here. See if we can get another push. Nice. So, you know, tick strike got my attention there. It up 13 points here. Let's see if we can get to 2,800. 95, 97. Got an order right there at 24.8. Come on. Push it. Push it. This will be a 20-point trade right here. And, oh, I went right to it. Come on. Damn it. There it goes. Filled. 20 points. 80 ticks. So, you know, that was a bit of a breakout trade, but, you know, we were in this distribution. That's a price discovery out of the distribution with volume. It's another 20 points there. 40 points. So technically, this is also a fade value area extreme, right? We don't always get this, right? It would be nice if we always got that, but we don't always get that. Sometimes we get this, right? So in those situations, guys, I'll usually catch the first touch, I'll get out for the scalp, and then I wait. Right? When I see that buyers are stepping in and now the real larger fade value area extreme is panning out, I'll get back in. Try and grab another trade out of it. Oh, and I don't use candle closes as an entry model whatsoever. Another point to note, guys, we are trading in the initial bounce still. We are in the morning auction. We haven't left it, right? We are rotating within the initial balance. Everything about this says balanced market literally since the open. The higher time frame distribution, staying within the initial balance, bouncing off the value area highs, value area lows. A little excess price, but same story. Yeah, no worries, Anthony. Good one. Good trading. You can trade. It's not the best, AJ, to trade off of it. I would definitely use it as a confluence. You will see setups with it, but these are C minus setups at best. I think it's better for getting an idea of who's in control since the capitulation event. I wouldn't say it was that obvious until probably a little after 10 o'clock, JP. Once we faded this area here, I was pretty convinced that we were going to be in a balanced day, at least for the time being. It's not like the market opened and I knew that we would be in balance the entire time. But once we faded from here, I had a pretty good feeling. And the higher time frame helps. Sure looks like balance to me. Jimmy, my weekend was excellent. I'm exhausted. My sleeping is all messed up, and I am like a creature of habit. Everything is routine for me, so I'm like all thrown off. The time change and only going to the time change for like 2 days. Absolutely, Anthony, and it was wonderful. I got to meet Anthony, guys, this weekend. See if I can bring up a picture, actually. Yeah, we had a wonderful time, guys. We really did. It's a really nice picture, actually. Really nice picture. So this is me, obviously. You got me. Whoa. This is me. This is Sunny. This is Anthony. And this is Tim. On the top of this beautiful rooftop in downtown Los Angeles after the conference. So we had a wonderful time. Yeah, we had a nice time. Yeah, well, there was more of us too. Scott was there. Larry was there. Who else? Who am I forgetting? Scalpster. Nice, Jimmy. We're actually going to have, it's not formal news yet, but there's going to be an event in Florida in May. And I will be one of the speakers. So anybody who can make it to Florida, it's going to be about an hour from Orlando. Come to Florida, come to Disney World. Go to a trader conference, bring the family, go to Disney World, have a great time. I did. I did meet Tom H. I have a terrible picture of me with Tom. I'll share it, even though I hate it. But I'll share it. I only got to meet him briefly. I think Sonny and them got to meet him, got to spend a little more time with him. Who spoiled the picture? My face spoiled the picture tomorrow. My face spoiled the picture. I'm not, you know, I just don't like a lot of pictures of me. It was bad lighting, is what it was. Bad lighting. There's me and Tom. I look like a giddy schoolgirl, is what I look like. Oh, I'm meeting Tom. He was so nice. Really, quite the gentleman. Smart, articulate, eloquent, very impressive human being. Yep, same barber. He's way taller than I am, too. Nice. Felonious Monk. Good job. All right, so we're back at this value area high, aren't we? I don't know if I trust shorts here. Maybe a scalp. Scalpacito. That was quite the drive out of that level.
Our integrations are collaborating with NVIDIA on data centers.
Little scalpacito. He doesn't use anything, guys. All he uses is candlesticks. His entry couldn't be more simple. Short the bottom of the second 15-minute candle, long the top of it. Quite literally, that's one of his strategies.
So Power Integrations is working with NVIDIA on transition to 800 VDC.
All right. I don't know if the scalp's going to work short here. I might have to reposition. Out. Did it? It did work great today, huh? But he would have let this come all the way back to zero. He actually would have, this would have turned into a losing trade, actually, for Tom. So let's go over Tom's strategy here real quick. Let's take everything off the screen. All right, here's our 15-minute candles. Okay, now Tom, okay, this is the second 15-minute candle. Yeah, so no, didn't work great today. I guess you were being terrible today, actually. He would have shorted it first. So, no. So, okay. So here, look. This is the second, right? So you got to long the top. Isn't it working? Something's happening. Okay, let's use this one. All right, so here's the second 15-minute candle. Nothing's working. Guess where the stop is? He's not taking profits at 20 points, guys. This would have been a 125-point loser, according to Tom's strategy. This is an anti-trade. Also, where the second 50-minute candle closes within the overnight trading candle, you take the opposite trade. Yeah, but then we've been in balance. Okay, so you took the opposite trade. You still stopped out, or you still stopped out. So you would have shorted there. You'd be almost stopped out there because there's no continuation to either direction. It's a balanced market. Tom makes zero money in balanced markets. It's got to trend. It's got to move. So what happened, Ray? You were looking for continuation, or what happened? Gold's just grinding up. Up, up, trading above the 1 standard deviation band. So we're in price discovery, right? Actually, this is kind of like, you know, doesn't get much cleaner price discovery than this, does it? Spectacular losses that could devastate less sophisticated traders. Yeah. So, and when he wins really big, right, Ray? Not Ray 10. You have 2 Rays now. Ray 10. That makes up for those spectacular losses. So I get it, but it's not for me. But the psychology aspect of Tom was awesome. I don't need to trade Tom's strategy to appreciate where he's coming from or his speech. Nice, Roadrunner. I can't believe your system works, he said. Shocked beyond belief. Hey, let's go. Leon, it's a combination of a dollar amount and kind of having an idea where I'm completely wrong and I got to get out. But usually it's a dollar loss before anything. And as my profits grow for the day in an account, I'm willing to take on more risk. So it's dynamic. I can't say it's that mechanical. Okay, Ray. We're building some value up here again. Turn on the bad bunny, reset. Maybe make yourself a meal or a drink, non-alcoholic preferably, and reset. Take a walk. So I'm about done here, guys. think we had some good trades. I have to admit, up until about 11 o'clock, it was a little tougher to manage. I did get some good trades. Right? These areas held up really nice. Right? We got the usual suspect fade value area extremes in a balanced market. If you were oversized, you could have gotten crushed a little bit. A little sneak peek at what could have been the beginning of price discovery, but it failed. Frank, you're late. We're closing up. I'm closing up shop here, but you guys can head on over to the trading rooms. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You could head on over to the NQ or the Gold Lounge, the Trading Lounge. Share your mics, share your screens, collaborate with your fellow VWAP Wave System traders. I'll be back at it tomorrow morning, bright and early, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, Shelly. Well, let's get some insight into what you're doing. I think that will be helpful. All right, guys, have a wonderful day trading. If you're going to keep trading, manage your risk, stay sharp. Tag me in the Discord if you need help or have any questions, and we'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the New York Open, 10 a.m. on YouTube with the delayed stream. Have a wonderful day, guys.